You ever have someone treat you so badly that you start to forget who you even are? That was me. Until the night I decided that nobody was going to be cruel to me and walk away smiling. Because when my narcissistic ex built his dream home, I made sure it became the most expensive mistake of his life. If you've ever been betrayed by someone who thought they could just move on without consequences, hit that like button, because today's story is the ultimate definition of karma served cold. This is how one woman turned heartbreak into $45,000 worth of revenge. When I met Mark, let's call him that, he was charming. You know the type. Loud laugh, confident walk, the kind of man who makes you feel like you're lucky just to be standing next to him. He was 51, a panel beater who worked mostly for cash. Always bragging about being his own boss, about not needing anyone telling him what to do. But over time, that charm started to rot. The compliments faded. The jokes turned sharp. He'd mock my opinions, dismiss my ideas, and then act like I was too sensitive for reacting. That's the thing about narcissists. They break you down piece by piece, until you start apologizing just for existing. And by the end, I wasn't angry. I wasn't even sad. I was just empty. We had this dream. 20-acre block of land. A quiet spot away from the city. Our forever project, he used to call it. He'd started building a shed and a container home there. Nothing fancy, just steel, sweat, and stubbornness. But to him that land was freedom. He refused to get proper permits, saying, "Council's not gonna tell me what to do on my land. It was supposed to be our future." But somewhere along the line, he stopped using the word we. It became all about him. The final straw. He started getting cruel, accusing me of things I never did, talking down to me in front of people. He'd look at me like I was an inconvenience, like he'd already moved on in his head. And then, one day he actually did. I found out he had a new girlfriend. Not months later, weeks after we broke up. He didn't even try to hide it. He was parading her around, showing her our land, the same land we had dreamed about together. That was the day something inside me snapped. He had treated me like I was disposable, and now he was going to find out just how wrong he was. I knew every inch of that property. I knew the layout, the permits he didn't file, the shortcuts he took, the way he bragged about saving thousands by avoiding inspections. So one night, as I sat there with a glass of wine and a burning knot of anger in my chest, I decided to hit him where it hurt. His wallet, his pride, and his illusion of control. I wrote an anonymous letter to the local council. I made it sound official, polite even. "Dear Sir or Madam, as a concerned neighbor, I feel obligated to report a potentially illegal structure being occupied in a bushfire-prone area. There are children living there, and I fear for their safety." There weren't any children, of course. But I knew that little detail would make them act fast. 2 weeks later he called me, raging. Apparently, council officers had shown up unannounced. They wanted paperwork, permits, safety reports. He had none. He tried to bluff his way through, but you can't lie to bureaucracy. Within days, he was issued multiple notices. One for occupying a building without an occupancy permit, $17,000 fine. Another for the unapproved building works themselves, $28,000 fine. And the cherry on top, he was ordered to remove the entire structure. Everything. That half-built dream home he'd sunk his savings into. Reduced to scrap metal and dust. Chapter 6. But I wasn't done yet, 9 to 10:30. See, the thing about narcissists is, they think they're untouchable. And he had always bragged about how he did cash jobs to keep the taxman off his back. So I thought, why not share that little fact with someone who would care? I wrote another letter, this time to the tax office. Anonymous, of course. Detailed. Specific. Every under-the-table job. Every little side hustle. I don't know exactly what happened next, but I can imagine the scene. Him, sitting in his half-empty shed, surrounded by paperwork, trying to explain where all the money went. The man who thought he was smarter than everyone else, now drowning in bureaucracy and penalties. And the best part, he'll never even know it was me. Chapter 7. The Sweet Taste of Justice, 10:30 to 12 o'clock. When I drive past that land now, there's nothing left. No shed, no container home, just empty dirt and weeds. I used to picture our future there. Laughter, love, maybe even peace. Now, it's just a monument to his arrogance. And my revenge. People sometimes ask, don't you feel guilty? And honestly, well, he broke me down for years. Made me feel worthless. And for once, I wasn't powerless anymore. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. I didn't sink to his level. I just let the truth, and a few strategic lies, do the heavy lifting. Revenge doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it's a quiet letter dropped in a mailbox. A whisper that turns into a storm. He thought he'd moved on. He thought he'd won. But karma has a long memory. And in the end, he paid for every cruel word, every smug smile, every ounce of pain he caused. $45,000 worth of it. So yeah, I'd say that's a pretty fair trade. Peace of mind in exchange for his pride. Because when someone treats you like you don't matter, sometimes the sweetest revenge is simply reminding them that you do. If that story gave you chills, smash that like button. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And of course, subscribe for more real-life stories where karma doesn't knock. It kicks the door down.